About 15 years ago, at my house, Danny Davis, my former pastor, was over there. And he mentioned to me, he said a statement. He said, maybe that's a precursor. We were talking about something else. And I had never heard anybody ever, still haven't, teach precursors. So when he was saying that to me, I understood the meaning of it, but I didn't understand if there was any biblical relevance. Could we show this in the Bible? Is this something we need to be looking for? So I went to God, and God began giving me the details and specifics, and there are specifics of what a precursor is. A precursor many times is simply a warning. It can be something that's simply going to go before or provoke another event. But many times precursors they can be warnings to a certain extent. And the way I see God work precursors and or these warnings, a lot of times he'll put something out a year in advance, 1 year in advance, many times even in the exact same month, almost to the day sometimes that happens. If it's not 1 year in advance, it'll go out 2 years. I've seen it go 5, 10, 20, 50, 100. That's kind of the sequence that it goes. I don't know why God does that, but he gives you warnings before the actual event, and it'll be an event similar to the one to follow of greater measure. And that pertains to judgments, even harsh spankings. God will give you warnings. He's a good God. So from that time on, because God began showing me, he showed me what a precursor was, the specifics behind it, what to look for, and I learned that they don't just pertain to a person, and they can. They can pertain to a person, a family, a city, a nation, the world. What they said, because after Fukashima, the Japan quake, the 9.0, that was back in 2011, which almost is 10 years to this day. We're almost there, 10 years to the day. They came out and said, Bob Jones and Rick Joyner, or at least Rick Joyner, came out. In fact, there's a video online. You can look this up. Now to expect the West Coast quake. Now, there's only two factors of this. Either it was God or it wasn't God. If it was God, we have had no West Coast quake, did we? So what happened? I'm telling you, the prophecy was God, but they misplaced it. They misplaced it. So if it's God, they obviously misplaced it, folks. So it either come down it's God, and where's the West Coast quake? Well, then they misplaced it if it's God prophecy. So that didn't happen. What has happened about a week ago was a Japan quake of 7.3.
I want to get to some breaking news. We are monitoring a magnitude 7.3 earthquake struck Japan off the coast of Fukushima, home to the nuclear power plant, badly damaged in March 2011 after the biggest quake ever recorded in Japanese history and that ensuing tsunami we all remember. This time a tsunami alert has been triggered again.
A powerful earthquake has struck northeastern Japan, injuring more than 130 people and leaving some 860,000 homes without power. Experts believe the quake was an aftershock from the massive tremor that hit the region 10 years ago.
Woken up with a jolt. A strong overnight quake as it hit northeastern Japan off the coast of Fukushima. The initial quake was followed by a series of aftershocks.
The earthquake comes less than a month ahead of the 10-year anniversary of the disaster caused by an earthquake and tsunami. The recorded breaking 9.0 magnitude earthquake led to a meltdown at 3 nuclear units of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant and left about 19,000 people dead or missing.
I'm telling you, as I've tried to explain before with other prophets, like I've used John Paul Jackson as an example, correct prophecy, misplacement of the prophecy. Okay? I believe and am convinced, as much as I can be, first off, correct prophecy by both these guys. Misplacement of the prophecy, guaranteed. Is this the Japan quake that they saw? I think so. It's not my prophecy.
A deadly earthquake has rattled Japan off the coast of Fukushima, the same area devastated 11 years ago. Today's 7.3 magnitude tremor caused a citywide blackout in Tokyo, plunging millions into darkness. Michael Genovese has the latest.
It's midnight in an 8th-story office. A massive earthquake off the coast of Fukushima, rocking parts of Japan, sparking a tsunami warning at the Fukushima nuclear plant. The tremors lasting more than 2 minutes. Roads left split as the earth shifted. This is a 7.3, enough to be felt hundreds of kilometres away in Tokyo, sending 2 million people into darkness. A derailed bullet train inspected by torchlight.
I was lying in bed with my kids when the shaking started, and as everything started to move, I immediately grabbed a pillow, covered their heads.
Enormous flashes of light are recorded in the area of Miyagi. Tsunami waves about 20 centimetres high reached shores before the warning was cancelled. Today, Japan's nuclear plants are showing no immediate signs for concern. Michael Genovese, 9 News.